Are you stepping into the portal of possibilities or backtracking into the past perceptions and patterns? This week's Astro Alchemy has it all. Welcome, beloveds. I am Tanya Melendez, spiritual advisor and astrologist, your favorite Black psychic librarian, founder of Chart and Soul Astrology. This week's lineup is intense, and so you'll be seeing a lot more of me this week. So make sure you join our email community so you never miss a thing. We've got some amazing things coming up, especially for the solstice, so stay tuned. But let's dive in. First of all, happy 10th day of March. We are nearing the first quarter coming to a close. Can you believe it? But most importantly, today is about honoring one of my sacred ancestors, and that is Harriet Tubman, who through resistance claimed her liberation at all costs. And there is so much more about my connection to Harriet, but this is about the stars. I'll be talking about the ancestors at another time. So this week it kicks off, like I said, today's energy, this portal is now open. We are in the 11th week of this 2025. As I said, we're almost done with the first quarter. Can you believe it? I mean, it's going so fast. But let's dive in. So first of all, while I am connecting with you, if you are watching this, we are in Moon Day 12, which ends tomorrow at 3:40. Ends tomorrow at 4:54, one of my favorite numbers. And so with this Moon Day energy has us today connecting to the moon and 3 other planets. So we are trining Mercury and Venus today with this moon day. And if you don't know what the moon day is, please to catch up on my on the previous videos where I talk more about this, and I'll be sharing more. So make sure you hit like, subscribe so you never miss a thing. And so the moon is sextiling Jupiter. So first off, the moon trining Mercury, what this is about our ability to learn. We are really tapping into our emotional intelligence. We might even, again, because the moon is growing too full, maybe really feeling some intuitive hits. The moon trining Venus is all about surrounding ourselves with our comfort, with our, true self-care, our pampering, the things that make us feel good, really tapping into that Venus vibe, which is also retrograde, and we'll talk about that in a second. But then we also have moon sextiling Jupiter, which is about our travel plans and adventures, and this is about our education and wanting to explore. So these are some of the energies that the moon is influencing us now. So pay attention, as I said, which this energy shifts then into Moon Day 13 and so forth as we move into the full moon. I should tell you, the full moon is usually on a day 14, between day 14 and day 18. So again, the moon is on a 28-day cycle, not the Gregorian calendar. So when I'm talking moon day, that's what I'm talking about, the cycle of the moon. And so let's dive into some of what the other planets are doing, as well as this big portal energy. So this portal energy of possibilities, we are in this, and we are about to go into Mercury retrograde, but this lunation, this blood moon energy is this super energy and supercharging Virgo of wellness, of service, of support, truly the virgin of the zodiac and the healer. So this is the energy that will be carrying into the Mercury retrograde. But first, starting tomorrow, there is going to be a meetup between Mercury and Venus. And again, as I shared with this with this trining energy then with the moon, there's a lot of our emotional sense here. This is, again, while the portal is opening, it can be either opening from our heart, from our third eye, or from our logic. logic. And if it's coming from our logic, it's again coming from the past, our patterns, and what we think has already occurred. If it's coming from our third eye, we know that it's moving us forward, because then on the 12th we have we have the sun and Saturn. So our identity and our work, our time are coming in. And then of course, then on the 14th, we have the full moon and lunar eclipse. This is, again, as I said, in Virgo. It's going to happen while we're sleeping at around 2:55 a.m. And again, that's Eastern Standard Time. So for me, I guess it'll be around 12:55 a.m. And then we've got Mercury retrograde kicking in on Saturday the 15th through April 7th. So as I said, a lot going on this week, and you're going to want to be prepared. So first off, with this Venus retrograde, again, is reminding us to reassess so we can realign. The Mercury retrograde, because it's going to be in this Aries Pisces energy, is going to want us to move headstrong, but Pisces is going to pull us back and say, wait up, beloved. Does this resonate deeply with you? Pisces energy takes us deep. So we're going to want to jump to conclusions, but it's going to be Mercury. So we're going to have to take it, tone it down and really anchor in to the energy and make sure it is for our highest good and moving us not only into our depths, but forward as well. So much going on. Have you been wearing your white? You can see I have. And if you've been watching my videos, you can tell that I've been wearing white. Wow. And I can truly tell you, I can feel the intuitive, truly like just a hyper awareness, but also a hyper crystal clearness. When I did my yoga this morning, I could truly feel it this morning. I was doing my Kundalini yoga. Kundalini is really powerful. And just like the spring energy that we have coming up with our equinox. And so in our Wild and Wise Sanctuary, I've got something very special coming up for you. So make sure you stay tuned for that. But when we think of spring, the word for spring in Spanish is primavera. And so we think of that first green. That's what spring is truly about. And we're moving into that energy. And as I shared with this Virgin energy, so what's your first green? What is the first thing that you're asking to sprout? So remember, our retrograde energy is also about us, as I said, reanalyzing, reassessing, reclaim, re-evolution. We're going through it. And this looking at what seeds we planted in the past that are now coming forth. So we're looking at, healing things generationally here. We're looking at also the second crop. And in spiritual studies, second crop is that second wave of, you thought you were finished with this healing, and then the next wave comes in. So these are some of the things and topics that will come up during this retrograde time. So you're going to want to look and see where Virgo is for you, so you can get a little bit more idea how it's going to affect you. And then of course the equinox energy of balancing, using that energy of Ma'at, is also about us shedding layers. Remember, this is the energy of 9, the 9 years, shedding the snake energy. So how are you coming into alignment? What skins have you shed? Where and how are you communicating? From your heart or from your head? Your third eye is asking for acknowledgement. It's asking for your emotional intelligence. So much packed into this week. Almost every day there is a huge planetary shift. So pay attention to what your emotional intelligence is telling you. And of course, always what your intuition is telling you. So I've got a new series of workshops coming up. Make sure you're in our email community so you never miss a thing. But I'm all about pulling things from different resources, putting on my Black Psychic Librarian hat, and using that with astrology and the tools of tarot and aromatherapy and crystal therapy and all of that. And so I've got something special coming up for you, especially during this retrograde. A lot of times we don't know what to do during retrogrades, and so I want to make sure you know exactly what to do. It is a time for us to reassess and realign and recommit and reclaim our crown. So make sure you again like, subscribe, and share this for more. There is so much good stuff coming. I'll be sharing more as well on the socials. Again, I'm not even sure what I'm doing. I'm just waiting, I think, until after a Mercury retrograde before I decide what I want to do with the socials, because I'm really being pulled to, instead of starting something new, plant something completely different and away from that whole experience altogether. So I've got something cooking, and I want to see what you have to say about that, because a lot of writing is also coming down for me with all of my planetary. So I can't wait to see what is in your chart and soul for the upcoming quarter. And if you want to know there's something big coming up, you've got a transition, a transformation you're ready to experience, a shift, I invite you to book your chart and soul astrology session now, so you can rewrite your story and really chart your soul on its path. So sending you so much love and light. Until next time, beloveds, Ashe, as above, so below, and keep shining like the star you are.